want to show you how I went from my old slow, low capacity reverse osmosis system here in my garage, which I use for my brewing water, to this, the iSpring RCC7. Yes, I got the model number right. Hi there, brew crafters. My name is Mark, and I'm a home brewer. Today, in addition to drinking this tasty and delicious homebrewed pale ale, I've got a project. I've also got a dog in the background. I'm upgrading my reverse osmosis water filtration system. Used to live in the Denver area when I first started homebrewing. When we moved here, back to the Midwest, and now I'm in a rural area, the water quality where I live is not good at all. The water tastes terrible. Terrible to drink, not going to brew with it. So that's when I started exploring reverse osmosis options. I've got a whole article on my website, brewcrafter.com. You can find it just by Googling Brewcrafter reverse osmosis. Should be the first result that pops up. And that's going to talk all about the benefits of using reverse osmosis water for homebrewing. When I first moved here, I installed a reverse osmosis system out in the garage, and it's been a couple of years now. It was an older system to begin with, and now it's to the point where it's time to change filters again. The membrane's not in great shape. It's super slow to refill. It's just not performing very well. Time to upgrade. I haven't even taken this thing out of the box yet. The RCC7 by iSpring. This unit is designed to go under a sink. It's got a little faucet on it. It's going to be a much better brewing experience for me because this has a larger capacity, much larger throughput, which means it's going to fill up and I can fill my water and collect all my brewing water much faster. Now let's get into the actual installation. Hey there, welcome to my floor. So I got everything unboxed. Let's do a quick rundown of what all the parts are. Okay, this guy is obviously the water tank. This is where all the RO water is going to be stored so that we have a good amount. So when you hit the faucet, you got some water coming out of it. This, which is kind of the main unit, the brains of the operation, the sediment filter, the activated carbon filter, and then the third stage carbon filter attach here. The membrane will go in here, and all of our water lines connect in different ways to make the system work. This is the sediment filter, the first stage, and its job is kind of the first line of defense. It just blocks any kind of sediment or larger particles from making their way further into the system. Next is 2 stages of carbon filtering, chlorine, odors, stuff like that. Finally, it's going to get the water will get pressurized and pass through this reverse osmosis element, and that's what removes pretty much everything else out of the water. It's forced through this rolled up element. Not sure if you can really see it in there. There's actually more details on that particular component and how it all works in the article on the website. Again, brewcrafter.com, reverse osmosis filter. We've got the faucet. It's a nice feeling faucet. Brushed nickel, sort of, and this is going to take the place, I'll show you pretty soon, of the existing pump soap dispenser thing. I'm kind of lucky because I've already got that there and I don't need to drill a new hole. Shutoffs, wrenches for the filter housings, water lines, some Teflon tape, looks like a few more quick connect adapters. All these water lines use quick connect fittings, so it's super simple to install. And as an added bonus, a water leak detector. So you can put a battery in here, have this down on the ground. If it detects water starting to accumulate on the floor, it'll sound an alarm. That's pretty sweet. I didn't even know that was going to be part of the deal. And knowing my plumbing skills, we may need that. Off we go. Alright, so now let's go ahead and start assembling some of this stuff. We'll talk a little bit about it as we go. The first thing I'm going to do, just to get things kind of out of the way, is I'm going to install my sediment filter. And if you notice, at the bottom of each one of these is an area where it's important that the filter the hole in the filter actually lines up and works properly, right? So I'm going to put this in the housing. Make sure that lines up, fits properly. I'm just going to screw it on. Screw it hand tight first. Use a wrench. Get that on there. Give it just an extra little twist. You don't want to twist it too hard. You'll break the housing, screw up the seal. Don't need to do any of that. It's got a good rubber seal in there, so it should be fine. We'll put on the first stage, activated carbon filter. Make sure that's lined up. A little tighter. And I'm going to do the third stage carbon filter. Come on, Betsy. Okay, so now we've got all of our filters installed. I'm going to disconnect the incoming line for the reverse osmosis. Open up the membrane. Now this thing has a plug with two rubber O-rings on the end that gets inserted, and then kind of a rubber seal on the outside. So it's important to get this lined up properly. Alright, just filter go in, and you gotta push it kind of hard to make sure it goes all the way back. Feels good. Tighten the lid back on. There we go. Put this back in position. Get my blue clip. Reinstall the water line. Put that blue clip in there so that water line ain't going nowhere. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to turn on the hot water until it gets warm, and just feel which one of these is getting warm. Okay, so now I know which one of these is my hot water, and by process of elimination I know which one is my cold water, and the cold water is going to be the one that I use as my source as the input to the reverse osmosis system. Now this part's kind of a bummer. Got my cold water here, and it looks like the previous owners have got some kind of conglomeration of connectors there going up to it. So hopefully the disconnect that was provided with the kit will mate up to something in here, and we'll be able to get a water source. So here's my main shutoff, my disconnect that's going to go in line essentially here. Luckily it comes with this little adapter, so I'm hoping that with this adapter in place, once I remove this, I'll have the correct thread size that can fit down on there, and then this guy will fit on here, and I will have my inline water source. What do you think the odds are that it'll work? Based on my previous plumbing experiences, not great, but let's find out. We got lucky. Looks like it's going to fit, and I don't know if you can see that, but these fittings have rubber bushings on the inside, so that tells me that as long as I can get it threaded down tight enough, I don't have to worry about Teflon tape for this particular connection. Fits right on there. And I'm going to fit this guy on here. Okay, now at this point, the shutoff is facing out towards the tubing, so that would mean that it's on. I'm going to shut that off. And I'm going to turn the water back on, just to verify we don't have any leaks. I don't hear or see any water coming out of any of this, so I'm going to take that as a positive sign. Way to go, me. I'm going to remove this soap dispenser and replace that with the water faucet. Okay, that part's easy enough. I think I'm unscrewing the... I can't tell what I'm doing, to be honest with you. There we go. Unscrewing from below. Okay. That comes out. Ew. Let me get this wiped up nice and clean before I put on the new fixture here. Scrub-a-dub-a-dub-a-dubby-doo. Now, check this bad boy out. That's a pretty good looking faucet. And it comes with a sort of grommet to cover the top there, which has a rubber base on it. And then I'm going to go like that. And I've got another washer and the little screw on the tighteny guy, which have to go up below. So I'm going to let you watch my face as I try to reach all the way up there while keeping this in place. That's a tight spot. Come on. That's pretty tight. Okay, cool. Check it out. Nice little faucet here. Burr, 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 burr. That's where the water's going to come out. So we can use that for filling glasses, coffee maker, etc. And then I can just hook up a hose or a little piece of tubing, run it down to my 5-gallon water bottles that I use for my brewing water. I'll be in water heaven. Let's move on to the next connection. This is going to be kind of a tight shot. I'm going to try and show you a view of what's going on up there. That is the bottom of that faucet. And I need to attach that to this quick disconnect using these little plastic lock rings after I get it connected. I have no idea if you're going to be able to see this part or not. Okay, it's on, but I gotta get the lock ring on too. Ouch! Do your thing, lock ring. Locked and loaded, baby. Next up, blue water line. Push it up a full 1/2 inch. My blue lock ring connected. We've got a water connection. So I'm just going to kind of route this water line back behind all this stuff because I know that eventually it's going to get hooked up to this unit over here. So now that's in place. Good. What's next? Alright, so next I'm going to hook the feed line up from the disconnect that we installed on the main water line, and I'm going to connect that to the input on the filtration unit. And then we're going to do an important step, which is flush out all the filters. We're going to basically prime the filters so they get full of water and then flush the output of that out so that we don't end up spitting any carbon deposits up through the membrane system. This is the input side. This is where the water comes into the sediment filter. It makes its way all the way through the system, and then out of the final filter comes up and goes into some of the other components here. But for the purposes of this exercise, I'm going to disconnect this line, the output, and I'm going to connect the drain line to it. Okay. And I'm going to run that up into the sink just so I have someplace for it to go. And we're going to watch it fill up, and we're probably going to watch some dirty water come out of this thing. And once the water starts running clean, then we can disattach that bypass and hook it back up normally. Got my red line, which is my feed. Attach that to the input here. Take the other end. Take the disconnect off. Push that in nice and tight. Put my These are easy to lose. It's a good thing they include a few extras. That on there. Okay, so now we've got our water turned on here, but it's turned off here. When I turn this knob to where it's in line, pointing straight down this line, the water is going to flow through here, go into the first, second, and third stage. Then this is the line I disconnected. I bypassed the rest of the system, and I hooked the drain line up directly to the output of the third stage. And this is the other end of it. And we're just going to run water through those filters and flush them out and get any kind of extra carbon or manufacturing materials or anything else out of all those filters so that they don't make their way into the membrane and eventually into our tank. See it filling up the sediment filter. So right now the water is going through the sediment filter and both carbon filters, and shortly we should start to see a little bit of water pumping out of this guy. There we go. Ooh, and look, see how gray it is? See, this is why we flush those carbon filters out, because otherwise all that carbon material would end up getting forced onto our membrane. Alright, that's looking pretty clear. So let's go ahead and move on to the next step. I'm going to come back down now and shut off the main water supply. We've still got a little pressure in the system. I'm going to wait till that stops pumping out. So now that we've flushed the filters, I can disconnect that temporary bypass and reconnect this part right here so that the water will flow back up into the main system. Okay, now I'm going to push that guy back in, add the blue clip. There we go. So now I'm going to connect the drain line to where it really goes. Push it in tight, my blue clip. Now you might be wondering why there's a drain on this thing. Well, with the reverse osmosis systems, there's always some amount of wastewater that gets generated, and that's what flushes away all the bad stuff that got sort of separated by the reverse osmosis membrane. We have to attach the drain line to the drain pipe, and we're going to do that by way of the drain pipe saddle. And basically this is a clamp that's going to go on there and give us a water connect. You have to drill a small hole in there big enough for this to go in, attach that, and then we'll have a way for the system to drain. So to do this right, we have to choose a good spot for our drain line to attach. And as you can see, I've got a garbage disposal over here, which goes down and tees, and then I've got the just a straight drain pipe coming from the other side. So I actually want to tap into the straight pipe because I don't want to tap in down here and have potentially the my drain line getting in the way of chopped up bits of garbage that are coming out through the garbage disposal. So I'm gonna tap in up here, I believe. That way the water will come down, go through, and not have to worry about getting interfered in any way with any of the garbage disposal output in this area here. So I'm going to shoot for up here. I'm just going to put a nice easy hole right there. So next I'm going to apply this little foam patch, which is going to protect the pipe from the saddle, and also once that's clenched down on there tight, it's going to provide a water seal so any drain water doesn't come out of this thing. We've got back side, front side. You can see that I've got the saddle lined up. And before I tighten it all the way down, I want to make sure that my drain line is going to fit. There it goes. Okay, so that does work. Okay, so now I've got this little black connector here. I've got my drain line. I'm going to shove it in. Where's my wrench? Twist a root here. Now I'm going to tighten down the saddle to create a nice tight squeeze there. Good. I've got a good tight drain connection. So what's the next step? Well, we have to hook up the storage tank still. Hello, storage tank. There's actually another shutoff valve that you can turn the water on and off from the tank. I'm going to apply some Teflon tape onto these threads. And when you're applying Teflon tape, it's important that you apply it in the direction that the fitting is going to go on. Otherwise, the fitting would just basically unwind the tape. Shutoff valve. Tighten that down a little further. I think we're in pretty good shape there. Okay. So now I've got our yellow line here, and that is what is going to connect our storage tank to this T connector here. Get in there, Betsy. These lock rings are important because you don't want one of those lines to come out and then you got water flying all over the place. After all that, we can connect our blue water line. It looks like I'm going to have to actually put this stuff in there to have enough length for that. So now, I've got my water line. Press it in there nice and tight. That blue lock ring. If I can go. That. I'm going to turn on the main water line. See if any water starts squirting out anywhere. It's going to start filling up this tank as it forces its way through the reverse osmosis system. And in an hour or so, after this tank is filled up, I should have some nice clean water coming out of that faucet. So we'll take a look back then. Brew Crafters, I hope you got something out of that video. Once again, I invite you to check out the full review on my website, brewcrafter.com. Just search for Brewcrafter, reverse osmosis, and I'll also put a link down in the description of this video. Cheers. If you want to see more stuff like this, subscribe to the channel, give me a thumbs up, leave me a comment, all that good stuff. You know how to use YouTube. I've got brand new, high quality RO water in my future.